Good evening, everyone, and you're welcome to the broadcast of news at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. You can also follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Now the major headlines. On the national news, EFCC arraigns Bauchi Accountant General and Bureau the Change Operator for 1.8 billion naira money laundering. Trials begin June 17th. Lagos police raid baby factory in Ijegun, rescued 10 victims including children. 3 suspects arrested. Gombe celebrates World Health Day with maternal and infant mortality drop. 114 wards equipped with primary health centers. In international news, Prince Harry appealed security ruling amidst legal battles and royal distance. In business news, APCON urges stronger threats ties as U.S. tariffs threaten Nigerians' forex stability. In entertainment news, TikTok star Amuskab jailed for naira abuse at lavish wedding ceremony. In sport news, Kwara hosts inaugural National Baseball League, boosting sport revival in Nigeria. My name is Bridget James, and now the news in full. The Accountant General of Bauchi State, Siraju Jaja, has been arraigned by the EFCC at the Federal High Court in Abuja over alleged money laundering involving over 1.8 billion naira. He was charged alongside a Bureau the Change Operator, Aliu Abubakar, and his company. All defendants pleaded not guilty. The court granted them bail of 200 million naira each with strict conditions. The trial is scheduled to begin on June 17th. The EFCC alleges the funds were illegally transferred from state accounts between July and November 2024. The Lagos State Police Command has uncovered a baby factory in the Ijegun area and rescued 10 victims, including 3 children. Acting on a tip-off, officers raided the locations on Saturday and arrested 3 suspects: Mariam Vincent, 35 years old, Ori Roots, 23 years, and Ojunwa Ifeanyi, 18 years. The rescued victims include adults aged between 22 and 26, as well as children aged 2, 5, and 7. Police spokesperson Benjamin Udeyin confirmed that the victims are receiving proper care and support. He also revealed that the suspect confessed to kidnapping the victims from various locations across Lagos. They would be prosecuted upon completion of the investigations. As the world marks World Health Day with a focus on maternal and newborn health, Gombe State stands out with remarkable progress in reducing maternal and infant mortality, with 2 primary health care centers in each of its 114 wards. The state is being held for its commitment to accessible health care. Psalm TV correspondent Kamal Hamajo completes in the report.
Marks World Health Day today, Monday, 7 April 2025. This year's theme, Healthy Beginning, Hopeful Future, focus on maternal and newborn health, a crucial aspect of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. In line with the World Health Organization's target under SDG 2030 to reduce global maternal mortality to fewer than 75 deaths per 100,000 live births, Gombe State has recorded significant progress in reducing maternal and neonatal deaths. Speaking with Psalm TV in his office, the Gombe State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Habu Dahiru, said the state government has established 2 primary health care centers in each of the 114 wards across the state. He noted that these facilities are strategically positioned to ensure timely response to health needs, especially for women and children.
So Gombe State government, under the leadership of His Excellency the Governor, revitalized the 114 PHCs in the world. That's last year. And this year, another set of 140. So level 2 PHCs means a PHC that is well equipped to combat minor and major emergencies in reproductive health. Meaning you have a labor room, you have a laboratory to do some basic investigations, and you have wards to admit, then making sure essential drugs are available. You see, Gombe State, and one of the policy was the establishment of Gombe Drug Management Agency. And with that and the Go Pharma, now there is availability of essential drugs 24/7.
On whether Nigeria is on track to achieve the SDG target, Dr. Dahiru admitted that with the recent declaration of state of emergency on health, alongside the federal government's recommendations that states allocate 15% of their budget to the health sector, it is possible for the country to meet the target.
Yes, we can. I mean, now if you see, if we're following, like we say, okay, the Abuja Declaration, if every state government will give no less than 15% of its total budget to health, then we are prioritizing health. We're declaring state of emergency in health. The fact that governments across the board have agreed to increase their budgetary provision for health, and then the commitments and the collaboration with development partners and donor agencies, plus the efforts of the state government, I think they will see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Also speaking with the Som TV, the Gombe State Chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, Dr. Ahmad Adamu, who is also the head of pediatrics at the Federal Teaching Hospital Gombe, said there are mixed reactions concerning Nigeria's performance towards the target.
However, the targets that were set, looking at 2030, there are a lot of things to be happy about and some not very good. So if I were to give an assessment of how we have performed, I would say we have mixed reaction as to what we have done. So in some areas we are doing a little bit better, but not as much as we would want to do to be able to get to the target by 2030. In some areas we are getting worse. For example, if I use the recently released NDHS survey, the 2023-2024, you realize that one of the parameters, which is the neonatal mortality rates, have actually increased from the previous year figure of 39 children and neonatal deaths per 1,000 to 41 within a year. So the trend actually going up. So for those, we are not very happy, and we hope that the trend would go down so that we'll be able to reach those targets. So I think by and large, it's a mixed reaction for us in pediatrics.
In his remark, a consultant at the Federal Teaching Hospital Gombe, Dr. Adejo Paul, attributed the recent reduction in maternal death to the federal government's introduction of free emergency service for neonatal and prenatal care.
The federal government of Nigeria, through the Ministry of Health, introduced some programs to help reduce maternal mortality. And this is encompassed in the comprehensive emergency maternal and neonatal care titled Simon, which has helped to provide women with emergency services, especially when it comes to pregnancy-related issues and obstetric emergencies, as well as neonatal, perinatal, and some other preterm deliveries. And this program has actually helped in reducing maternal mortality because in the introduction of the program has enabled a lot of people who ordinarily could not come to the hospital for lack of funds to present. And since the beginning of this program, we've witnessed a lot of improvement and even reduction in some of the avoidable maternal deaths.
Patients who spoke to Som TV said Gombe healthcare system is among the best in the country, which is why they left their home state to seek medical service in Gombe.
My name is Lydia Dominic. I was sick and initially admitted to the state specialist hospital in our state. However, my condition wasn't, so I was referred here. Since arriving, my health has improved significantly within just 24 hours of admission.
My name is Salisu Abdulaziz from Ibbi local government area of Taraba State. I brought my brother Idris to the Federal Teaching Hospital in Gombe for medical treatment. We had earlier taken him to the Federal Hospital in our state, but there was no improvement in his condition. So we decided to bring him here. By the grace of God, his condition has now improved and he is getting better. World Health Day, observed every 7 April, is set aside to reflect on the progress and challenges in global health system. Gombe State's achievements in health include the influx of patients from neighboring states seeking medical attention is a testimony to the impact of collaborative effort by the federal, state, and local government. Kamal Hamajo, Sum TV.
Still from Gombe, UNICEF nutrition specialist Philomena Irene has urged the chairman of local government councils in Gombe State to take political actions to combat malnutrition, which remains a significant challenge in the region. During a workshop on basic nutrition and financing, Irene emphasized that addressing malnutrition is achievable with the right political will and proper budget allocation. The 2021 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey revealed alarming malnutrition rates in Gombe, with only 30.7% of newborns exclusively breastfeed and 8.4% of children aged 6 to 23 months receiving adequate nutrition. The Community-Based Management of Acute Malnutrition program reported 14,175 cases of severe malnutrition, highlighting the urgent need for intervention. Irene encouraged local government leaders to prioritize investments in essential services such as water, sanitation, and the nutrition of women and children. She also acknowledged the state's efforts, noting that Gombe has released 175 million naira towards addressing malnutrition, though an estimated 4 billion naira is needed for more comprehensive action. The two-day workshop held at Crispin Hotel in Jos brought together government officials, local council chairmen, and other stakeholders to discuss these critical issues. Former Imo State Governor Honorable Emeka Ihedioha has mourned the passing of Pascal Gabriel Dozier, founder of the defunct Diamond Bank, describing him as a corporate titan and one of Nigeria's most distinguished ambassadors. In a condolence message issued on Tuesday, Ihedioha referred to the late businessman as an Iroquois from the East and praised his integrity, wisdom, and quiet strength. He noted that Dozier's death had overbreathed across the country, touching all who were inspired by his life and achievements. Ihedioha highlighted Dozier's leadership role, including his positions as founding chairman of Diamond Bank, former chairman of MTN Nigeria, former president of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and former chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. He described Dozier as a mentor and beacon of excellence whose legacy endures through the institutions he built and the lives he influenced. He prayed for the peaceful repose of his soul and comfort for his family. Pascal Dozier died on Tuesday, April 8, at the age of 85. May his gentle soul rest in peace. The Association of Ebonyi Indigene Sociocultural in the Diaspora has issued a stern warning to Senator Onyekachi Nyebonyi of Ebonyi North over his repeated verbal attack on respected figures and his defense on Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the ongoing sex scandal involving Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. In a statement released in Abuja, AEISCID President Ambassador Pascal Okochukwu described Nyebonyi's actions as unparliamentary and unbecoming of a legislator. He criticized the senator's aggressive media commentary, including attack of former Minister of Education, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, and other prominent Nigerians, urging that such behavior undermines his responsibility as a lawmaker. The group accused Nwebonyi of abandoning his legislative duties and reducing himself to a defender of Akpabio, calling for the immediate commencement of a recall process if he continues in this manner. AEISCID also condemned rumors that Nwebonyi is being positioned for the 2027 governorship race, insisting Ebonyi deserves better representation. The Sokoto state government has cautioned residents against making inflammatory statements that could undermine effort to tackle insecurity. The warning came from Ahmed Usman, retired special advisor on security to Governor Ahmed Aliyu, following remark by Basharu Altin Guyawa, convener of the Movement for Social Justice in Nigeria, which questioned the government's security commitments. Colonel Usman described such comments as misleading and harmful to public morals, stressing that security requires collective effort and depoliticized engagement. He highlighted recent joint operations in the state's eastern axis, which have led to the dismantling of bandit hideouts, rescue of kidnapped victims, and neutralizations of criminal elements. He also noted government's investments in security logistics, including restored allowances and provisions of patrol vehicles, regular engagements with stakeholders and traditional leaders. He added, have contributed to improve security outcome. The government reaffirms its resolve to continue this effort and warned against attempts to derail progress. Interestingly, Guyawa, despite his recent criticism, had in February presented an award to Governor Aliyu for strides in maintaining peace. In Ondo State, recent weeks have marked a sustained focus on women's empowerment, signaling a deeper shift beyond seasonal celebrations. Under Governor Lucky Orimisan Oyedatiwa, the state has ramped up efforts to include women in governance, expand access to economic opportunities, and address gender-based violence through targeted legislations and interagency collaborations. This commitment is reflected in initiatives led by the Special Advisor on Women Affairs, Dr. Sheun Osamaye, and the increased support for maternal health and female entrepreneurship through agencies like the Ondo State Microcredited Agency. Central to this momentum is an upcoming colloquium in honor of Chief Mrs. Christiana Manisola Ajulo, a 90-year-old community matriarch, organized by her son, Dr. Kayode Ajulo San, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. The event will celebrate the societal impact of motherhood and its role in ethical leadership and civic responsibility. Dignitaries including First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu and leading voices in policy and advocacy are expected to attend. The colloquium set for April 17 formed part of a broader effort by Oyedatiwa administration to integrate women's development into the state's governance strategy. The state is transforming symbolic moments into lasting moments, positioning itself as a model for inclusive leadership in Nigeria. The Northern Senators Forum has strongly condemned the recent attack in Boko's local government area of Plateau State that resulted in the death of about 50 people and left many others injured. In a statement signed by its chairman, Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua, the forum expressed deep sorrow over the killing, describing the targeted as unprecedented of northern and national values. The commended Plateau State Governor Caleb Mufong for effort to restore calm and prevent ethnic retaliations, urging him to maintain his peace-building stance. The forum called on Nigerians to unite in securing the country and ensuring such violent incidents do not reoccur. Similarly, former Senate President David Mark decried deadly attack across several communities in Benue State, allegedly by armed herdsmen. He lamented the destruction of lives and property worth billions of naira in local governments, including Otopo, Agatu, Akpa, and Guer West. Among others, Mark acknowledged the arrest of some perpetrators and called for thorough investigations and prosecutions of all those involved. He urged community youths to remain vigilant and assist law enforcement with relevant information while cautioning against ethnic profiling or retaliatory attack. Terrorists launched coordinated attack over the weekend in Funtua and Dandume local government areas of Katsina, kidnapping 53 people and killing 6. Residents raised alarm as the assailants stormed multiple villages, abducting women, children, and men. The attack, which started on Saturday night and continued into Sunday afternoon, left a trail of fear and displacement. According to local sources, the terrorists killed 2 individuals in Layin Gara and 4 others in the village of Maikwama in Dandume. The village head of Layin Gara, Mustafa Abdullahi, confirmed the attack and expressed frustrations over the government's response, citing food scarcity and ongoing insecurity. Efforts to reach the Katsina State Police Command and the Commissioner for Internal Security for comment were unsuccessful. The Ogun State government, through the Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, in collaboration with the World Bank, has organized a stakeholders engagement to enhance food security through mechanized farming. The event, held in Oke Ilowo, Abeokuta, focused on the management, effective utilization, and sustainability of farm mechanization, equipped such as tractor, plucked and combined harvesters. Mr. Bolu Owotobo, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, emphasized the importance of proper equipment management to reduce cost and improve efficiency. Mrs. Mosum Owo Oduso, project coordinator of OGSTEP, highlighted the collective responsibility required to maintain and sustain the equipment, which was procured with support from the World Bank. The engagement also included discussions on operational health and safety with advice from OGSTP Environmental Safeguard Officer, Mr. Sheyi Mayumbe, Mr. Rotimi Sogunle, chairman of the Ajegunle Farm Settlement, expressed gratitude on behalf of the beneficiaries, pledging effective use of the equipment. Additionally, OGSTEP has conducted environmental assessment in Itoro and Isomu communities to align communities' interests with sustainable farming practices. This initiative, part of the Freelier pilot program, aimed to ensure responsible land use and positive local development. The project received community support with a commitment from the investor, Adewale Farms Limited, to uphold responsible business practices. Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has called on the federal government to establish a permanent military base in the Agu local government area, following a recent attack by the terrorists, which resulted in the death of 16 villagers. The attack, attributed to the notorious Lokurawa group, occurred on Saturday, April 6, 2025, when heavily armed bandits stormed two villages, rustling cattle and engaging in a violent confrontation with locals. Governor Idris, who visited the affected community, emphasized the need for a permanent military presence to help combat ongoing insecurity. He noted that the attackers often come from Sokoto and flee back to their base after committing atrocities. The governor vowed to take all necessary actions to protect lives and properties in the area. The Kebbi State Police Command confirmed the attack and reported the deployment of tactical items to hunt down the perpetrators. Commissioner of Police Bello Sani assured the police that the authorities were committed to bringing the attackers to justice and ensuring the safety of residents. Stakeholders and experts gathered at the opening day of the 2025 Press Week of the Correspondent Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, in Rivers State, emphasized that effective governance is essential to unlocking the potentials of the state's blue economy. The event held in Port Harcourt highlighted the importance of infrastructure development, sustainable practice, and stakeholders' engagement in harnessing the state's vast maritime resources. Mr. Amechi Okonkwo, chairman of the chapel, noted that Rivers State's significant blue economy potentials, specifically in fisheries, tourism, and maritime transport, contribute about 35% to its GDP. He stressed that realizing these potentials requires the state to adapt effectively. The governance and aligns with the federal vision for the blue economy. Dr. Chinyere Ogwogwa, president of the Port Harcourt Chamber of the Commerce, expressed pride in the chamber's relationship with the local journalists and emphasized the role of the media in ensuring transparency and accountability. She also reaffirms the chamber's commitment to supporting businesses, the growth through best practices and members' collaboration. Mr. Paul Bazir, chairman of the NUJ in the state, commended the Correspondent Chapel for focusing on the blue economy, a key area of development for the union's new leadership. The event's theme, Blue Economy, Starting Step for Rivers State, underscored the need for strategic steps in economic diversification. Cross River State will be a key beneficiary of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone program, with a groundbreaking ceremony for Phase 1 set to take place on April 10th, 2025. The initiative, backed by a $538 investment from the African Development Bank, aimed to boost the state's agribusiness sector and address food insecurity challenges in the region. The SAPS program, Nigeria's largest single country investments from AFDB, with focus on building essential infrastructure and fostering private sectors participations to transform the agricultural landscape in Cross River. The project is part of state's effort to diversify its economy, enhance food security, and create sustainable employment opportunities. It will also position Cross River as critical players in Nigeria's agribusiness sector. The SAPS will bring together producers, processors, and distributors in the state's agro-industrial zone, driving productivity and reducing transaction costs. The program is expected to attract private investments, stimulate economic growth, and lay the foundations for future phases that will extend across additional states in Nigeria. The Nigerian Communications Satellite Limited has partnered with the Jigawa State Government to train 150 youth on satellite technology and digital communication. The 5-day training, held at the Manpower Development Institute in Duse, aimed to equip participants with skills to boost job creation and economic development. NICOG Management Director Jane Aginston Adeha highlighted the program's focus on fostering innovations through satellite technology. The training featured two main sub-programs, Spark Track 2025, which explores satellite technology for addressing challenges in agriculture, disaster management and security, and Very Small Aperture Terminal Technology, a system for satellite communication. Dr. Habib Mohammed Obale, Director General of the Jigawa State Economic Empowerment and Youth Employment Agency, commended the state government's support for their initiative. He encouraged participants to apply the skills learned and share them with others for broader development. The training is part of NICOMSAT's broader effort to derive grassroots innovations in Jigawa State. The federal government has ordered all illegal miners in Zamfara State to vacate their site, reaffirming that mining activity remains suspended pending on the release of standard operating procedures. Reacting to recent reports of lead poisonings in Bogudu local government area, the Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dr. Dele Alake, blamed the incident on the failure of traditional and local authorities to enforce the 6-year-old mining ban. Dr. Alake stressed that such negligence has led to severe public health consequences and urged all citizens to obey government's directive. He commended the Zamfara state government for deploying emergency service and called for closer collaborations with the ministry to curb illegal mining. He also disclosed that the ministry would soon introduce comprehensive guidelines addressing compliance licensing and environmental remediations. Additionally, the minister noted that the federal government's approval of satellite technology to monitor mining activities will enhance efforts to eliminate illegal operations across the country. The Nasarawa state government has directed public office holders to temporarily reaffirm from political activities and focus on their official duties. The Governor Abdullahi Sule gave the directive during the opening of a retreat for commissioners, special advisors and senior special assistants in Abuja. The retreat is designed to bridge gaps among political appointees and enhance collaboration in advancing the administration's development agenda. Governor Sule urged participants to prioritize policy implementations over early political maneuvering ahead of the 2027 elections. Dr. Limam Mohammed Tijani of ASCON highlighted the retreat as a platform for fostering transformational leadership and team spirit. Secretary to the state government, Shaibu Labaran Magaji, praised the governor's people-centered policies and encouraged full participation to strengthen governance. The 3-day retreat focuses on key areas vital to effective governance and Nasarawa state socio-economic progress. Ogun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has relaxed the curfew on the crisis-hit communities of Ilobu, Ifon, and Erin Osun from 17 to 12 hours daily, citing a gradual return to peace. The curfew will now run from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. until further notice. According to a statement by the Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Kolapo Alimi, the adjustments aim to cease movements for students taking WAEC, NACO, and JAM examination. Adeleke praised the efforts of the traditional rulers and residents in restoring calm and reaffirmed his commitment to a peaceful resolution. He directed continued 24 hours surveillance by security agencies and warned that any individuals or group found instigating unrest would face legal consequences. The governor also tasked the 100-member Crisis Resolutions Committee to expedite efforts towards a lasting solutions, calling on all stakeholders, including indigents in the diaspora, to support peace initiative for sustainable development. An 18-seater Toyota has seen boats with registration number KTG 283XA crashed into the Damagun market in Yobe State on Sunday evening, killing 5 pedestrians, including a pregnant woman, and injuring 19 others. According to the Yobe State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Livinus Yuzum, the victims were not passengers but were standing by the roadside when the speeding driver lost control and rammed into them. He said a crash investigations team was immediately dispatched from the Dogan Kuka Unit Command, and the victims were taken to Damagun General Hospital for treatment. Preliminary findings attributed the accidents to excessive speed and loss of control. Eyewitnesses raised concern about the sitting of markets along highways, which they say possess increasing risks of market days. Athletes participating in the Maiden Niger Delta Sports Festival in Oyo, Akwa Ibom, staged a protest on Tuesday over the non-payment of their allowances. The athletes from Cross River, Abia, Imo, and Ondo State refused to leave their camps, demanding payment before departing the protest, escalating when athletes locked the gate of their accommodation, halting both entry and exit. The athletes claimed there was no official communications about the amount they were to be paid, and they felt the allowances should have been provided during the event. Not afterward, one athlete expressed frustrations over returning home empty, handed after contributing to the success of the festival. The co-chairman of the main organizing committee, Sir Itiako Ikwope, attributed the delay to issue with the Ramita network and assured athletes that payments will be completed by the end of the day. He clarified that over 4,000 athletes were to be paid, with the NDDC, the festival sponsor, handling the arrangements. Ikpopo emphasized that once account details were uploaded, athletes will begin receiving payments. President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has commended Kaduna State Governor Umar Sani for his administration's commitment to inclusive governance and agricultural transformation. Speaking during the dinner in his honor at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim House on Monday, Adesina pressed the state result-driven approach and support for agribusiness development. The event, which brought together the AFDB leadership and top Kaduna officials, focused on the Kaduna State's Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone, an AFDB banked initiative aimed at transforming agriculture, empowering rural farmers, and spurring economic growth. Governor Sani reaffirms his administration's dedication to leveraging agriculture as a tool for poverty eradications, emphasizing plans to unlock the state's full agribusiness potentials. Dr. Adesina noted that Kaduna's agricultural focus in its budget was commendable and crucial to lifting millions out of poverty. The dinner preceded the formal groundbreaking of the SAPS project, which is expected to serve as a national model for agricultural industrialization in Nigeria. A member of the Enugu State House of Assembly, Eze Gabriel, representing the Isi Ozo constituency, has defected from the Labour Party to the People's Democratic Party. Gabriel, who was elected under the LP in the 2023 general elections, announced his decision during plenary on Tuesday. In a letter read by Speaker Uche Ogu, Gabriel cited internal decisions, persistent crisis, and factional disputes at both the national and state levels of the LP as reasons for his defections. He described recent conflict involving Labour Party leaders as evidence of the party's growing inability and declining ability to represent the people's interests. Gabriel expressed regret over his departure but said he was confident that the PDP would offer a more stable and supportive platform to continue serving his constituents. The chairman of Ekiti West Local Government, Moses Omojola, has refuted claims that a mosque was demolished in Aramoko, Ekiti, to make way for market projects sponsored by Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele. The clarification follows allegations by the Muslim Right Consent, which accused Bamidele of promoting religious intolerance. Imojola stated that the demolished structure was an unauthorized and incomplete building without officials' recognition or approval as a mosque. He emphasized that the land used for the market was properly allocated by the Alora in council and the local governments, that the project aimed to serve all residents, regardless of religions. He described Morridge's statement as misleading and inciting, adding that similar projects in other towns had been completed without controversy. He also noted that shops at the new market were fairly distributed among both Muslims and Christian residents, underscoring the project's inclusive nature. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum expressed concern over the resurgence of Boko Haram in the state, stating that the recent wave of attack indicates that the government is losing ground in the fight against the insurgents. Speaking at a special expanded security meeting, Zulum highlighted the increase in attack and kidnapping in several communities, as well as the recent dislodgements of military formation in various local government areas. He noted that while his administration has supported the military in its effort against Boko Haram, the renewed attack posed a serious setback for the region. Zulum called for enhanced effort, including the deployment of advanced technological warfare to address the growing threats. The Shehu of Borno also acknowledged the efforts of security agencies, but points out that certain local government areas remain under Boko Haram control, urging proactive measures to prevent further escalation. Adamawa State Governor Amadou Fintiri has appointed the Emir of Fufode, Alhaji